Hello, I'm George Einon. Let me start. From 1996, I was coordinating a speechcraft. The speaking course goes for 8 weeks. In the speechcraft course was a young man called Aurelian. And Aurelian, at the graduation, brought not one, but a whole table full of guests to see him in action. Head of the table was our Pastor James. Second was Brenton Parks. And in the middle, of course, was Ori. And after the speechcraft course, I mentored him and 2 other ladies. One day, Ori asked us one question. He said, I'm hosting church at what was then Endeavour School. And the question was, would you come see? I went along and I've been at C3 since. I was 7 years old, lying on the back seat of Dad's comfortable leather seats, lying on my head and looking out the window. There was an opening at the door. It was my mummy. My mummy was the love of my life. She said, how are you going, Georgie, darling? I said, I'm fine, Mummy. Why don't you go and get an ice cream like the rest of your 7 siblings? I said, no, Mummy. An ice cream won't fill my needs. She said, why is that, darling? I've had this strange feeling sitting in here. Something's come into me. And I know an ice cream won't fill it. You know, 4 months later, my mother died suddenly. And I knew that God was in the car with me because He overcame the hurt and the obstacles in my life. I knew that was God talking to me. Next, I got a new mummy. Dad moved quickly to find a new mother for us. 7 children. She must have been an awesome lady, I thought to myself, to take on 7 children at her first marriage. She was this tall and this wide. And I said, I couldn't call her mother because my mummy died. What I do know is she impacted my life throughout my teenage years. She sent us to church, gave us a penny to put in the bowl. Half of our family, my top half, were Methodists, and she changed the lower half of my family, because she had another daughter to Dad. 4 were Catholics. I thought to myself, that's fine. But she nurtured us to stay in our faith. I got married very young. I've been married to the same wife for over 47 years. That's a God thing. She's a wonderful lady that holds our family together, but I give her a bit too much credit. I was there from day one. My wife came to church with me every week in New Zealand. We came here and we went to Hillsong, and she got tired of it, and so I lapsed too. Then after meeting Ori and saying, come see it, this church has really impacted my life. I've done the discipleship course, and I encourage all men in this church to go through it. And what has really impacted me was when Pastor said to us, Sabbath, 1 day of the week, and also fast. So I've Sabbathed since 5 months, relentlessly. For Thursdays is my Sabbath day. And I cut the world off. I turn off my mobile phone and I just spend time with Jesus. And it's very hard to do. I practice it because I want Jesus to come closer in my life, to be able to share my thoughts. I do every day. 4 o'clock in the morning I wake up, I can't help myself. And Jesus is always there waiting for me. It's the best time. And Sabbath You know, I do things I wouldn't do, worldly. I do everything in the Spirit, and it just grows me as it'd grow you. And that's the main reason I come, because I want to follow Jesus. And the book that I have been given was something that really also impacted. Pastor in the church gave me the booklet on 21 days. I was always weak in prayer. Now I'm getting stronger every day, just repeating those words. I think it's Psalm 13 that says, I trust in your unfailing love and rejoice in your salvation. Those words go into my heart every time I read it. And it finishes about God's mercy, and Scrooge McDuck goes into the vault. He dives into the money and he wallows in it. And we too can do the same in Jesus. We can dive into him and wallow in his love for us.